Om Sai Ram, The Path of Jnanam through Sai Satcharitra Narada Muni, Part 1. Narada Muni, the Sanskrit word for sage, famous as a traveling musician and storyteller, preaching and enlightening wisdom and news, is a Vedic sage of the Hindu Dharma. In the ancient Vedic scripts, the Sanskrit word Narada translates to deity who Brahma invested with the power of creation. The religious texts adhere to him as one of the 10 Manas Putras, or the mind sons or spirits of Brahma. Also, he was an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu, the housemaid's son. While dwelling on the need for contemplating and expounding the glories of Bhagwan, Narada recalled one of his previous births as a housemaid's son. In one of his previous lives, he was born to a housemaid who was engaged in a household of Vedic ritualistics and appointed to serve the yogis who were gathered at the place for Chaturmasya retreat during the rainy season. Although impartial by nature, they were very gracious to him as he engaged himself sincerely in their service. Moreover, he was self restrained and devoid of childish frivolity. He was also obedient, reserved, and not fond of sports or games like other children. Having obtained their consent, he once partook a little of the remains of their meal. That was enough to free him from all past sins. With this mind thus purified, he felt greatly inclined to listen to the divine glories of the Lord, that the sages were always engaged in singing. Gradually, he developed an irresistible attraction for the divine. His mind became steady in its devotion to the Lord and could realize that his gross and subtle bodies, born of ignorance, were superimpositions on his real self, the Atman. Thus, by hearing continuously the glories of the Lord from these great souls throughout the rainy season and autumn, there arose in his heart that devotion which destroys Rajas and Tamas. As they were leaving, the kind and compassionate sages instructed him in the transcendental spiritual truths that are revealed by the Lord. Once Narada's mother was fatally bitten by a venomous snake while on their way to milk a cow. Taking this to be a blessing for his welfare, he left home and started walking north, surrendering himself to the divine will. As he meditated on the lotus feet of the Paramatma, his beloved God appeared in his heart and told, only those that are pure in his heart can have his constant vision. God also assured that Narada's devotion to God will never be diminished and will not be affected by creation or dissolution. Brahma's son. At the end of the cosmic cycle, when all creation was withdrawn into the casual state and the Supreme Being lay resting on the casual waters, Karna Salila, Narada too entered his divine body along with Brahma, his creative birth. After 1,000 divine eons, when the Lord again resolved to create this world, Narada was born of his vital breath. Committed to celibacy, he has been roaming the three worlds unhindered by the grace of the Lord, chanting the divine name Hari, striking melodious notes on the strings of the veena that the Lord has himself given to him. When he sings Lord's glories to the accompaniment of the celestial lute, the Supreme Lord of enduring fame and sanctifying feet appears in his heart. As if promptly responding to a call by one's name, we learn from this story that Narada had descended directly from Brahma, the creator. At the beginning of every cosmic cycle, Narada accepts a gross body, and at the time of cosmic dissolution, he merges into the Lord. He never loses the memory of his birth and disappearance in each cycle. Sri Ramakrishna pointed out that Narada is a Nitya Jiva, an ever free, eternally perfect being. Being a direct associate of the Lord, he is a free soul, never caught in the clutches of Maya. Having broken the fetters of karma, he has gone beyond the bondage of birth and death, as well as the other miseries of the world. To be continued. Om Sai Ram.